As you all know, Innovate Manufacturing is the team of EMO Hannover. In our special podcast from EMO Hannover, Innovate Manufacturing, I am having with me as our guest Rajesh Nath, who is the Managing Director of VDMA India, who played a major role in bringing Indian and German companies together. Sir, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank
Innovate
you.
Manufacturing,
My pleasure.
at EMO Hannover 2025. This edition of EMO Hannover, we never thought so many Indians we visit, and from the day one, today's day 4, we have seen a lot of Indians coming and looking at the production technology. And this year theme was Innovate Manufacturing for EMO Hannover.
Right.
What do you think about why Innovate Manufacturing?
I think when we look at manufacturing today, Hari, the whole process of manufacturing is becoming much more complex. We are not talking about, we earlier used to talk about mechanical engineering, machinery. Now electronic has also become a very integrated part of it. So we talk now more of upcoming sectors like mechatronics, where electronic is becoming an integrated part of the machine. When we look at innovative manufacturing, why the word innovative? Actually, as we go ahead, we need to have processes that are much more efficient. You need to improve productivity because the resources will become constrained. So now the mantra lies in how with less resources, you can actually produce more. And so that will need to have innovation, regular innovation coming. Innovation can be in various forms. Of course, on the machinery side, on the production side, you need to optimize your production. You need to come out with ideas. So generally, I would say that you need to look at options, out of the box options now. So that is why I think the theme of innovative manufacturing works very well, because we want to take manufacturing to the next step.
I seen that one advantage what Germany got in engineering was their mindset towards innovation.
Yes.
Actually, they sold premium their products because of those innovations. Today, you were there at EMO Hannover, you are talking to many people, you have seen many innovations around here. How do you see the innovations were projected by German companies in EMO this time?
So, you're very correct, Hari. Actually, the German companies or the VDMA members actually spend a lot on R&D, on innovation. From our statistics, almost 10% of the turnover from the company is utilized in R&D and innovation. Yes. The global average is about 3.5%. In India, we spend less than 1% to R&D work. I think what is happening is that I come back to my first reply of utilizing the resources. So resources are becoming less and less. Be it manpower, for example, in Europe, you have the shortage of manpower. We don't get people, especially to work on the shop floor. See, you have to look at automation processes, which will make it easier for the machine to run, for the product to come out. And that is very important, that with the availability of the machine, with availability of manpower that you have, how best you can optimize the process. And I think that is why in European context, this will become more and more important and strong, that companies spend on R&D, look at innovative manufacturing, look at innovative ideas. And now you have to also look at innovative products also. So it's a whole ecosystem that is undergoing a change.
Evolved over time.
Absolutely. Evolved over time. Very good. I think very well summed up.
You were talking about the innovations came from the challenges, especially for Europe.
Right.
But now there are so much of German innovations are there in India.
Right.
Do you think how this innovation how these innovations are making an impact in the shop floor?
I think a very good question. So when we are talking about the shop floor, the aim is again the same, to improve productivity. How can you improve the productivity on the shop floor? So you need to have these innovations on the shop floor. Now I'll just give you an example. When we talk about, especially talking about AI and automation. So we have a lot of, you could say, the remote monitoring, condition monitoring. Now this is again a way, you could say in a way, innovative step, because you are able to predict the failure of the machine before the machine is actually going down, based on certain parameters, data. And this is right at the shop floor, because you're capturing the data at the shop floor and then analyzing that data. Also, we have now more and more human-machine interaction happening. For example, collaborative robots. For SMEs also, we are finding now they are adopting collaboratively, because it gives them the flexibility. Plus, it ensures the safety of the worker. The worker is able to work, especially when you are working in very hazardous conditions, lot of smoke, lot of dust coming in. So we're there with the machine working along with the human. It helps safeguard the life of the human, gives them better working conditions also.
I had an interesting discussion with one of the German manufacturer.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by his response, telling that I don't want to sell in India. See, you know that I'm always proud of India. India is growing. Some people still believe, I think India is not ready.
Yeah.
Somewhere, they may be right.
Yeah.
But as a person who is working with German companies, bringing them to India and seeing them grow,
Yeah.
do you think that the general perceptions of Germans is still that India is not a country to invest upon?
Interesting question, and then takes me down the memory lane, Hari. I remember when I started my journey with VDMA 26 years back. So that time, the export of German machinery to India was hardly about 500 million. We used to have Deutschmark that time, D-Mark. The VDMA members were only about 250 that time. So when I used to come to Frankfurt, meet our members, talk to them, they said, why do we need to come to India? Nothing, hardly any business for them. And over the period of time now, things have changed very dramatically. Exports from Germany to India have now crossed 4,200 million euros. Also, we have around 600 VDMA member companies. So there is quite a vast change in perception for India. And now it's no more, the questions are not asking, why do we need to come? In fact, they ask, where do we need to start in India? Where can we establish ourselves in India? Where can we start our business in India? So there's a huge change what we have seen. Of course, there will be, maybe a couple of people will always be there. We can't avoid that. But I think with the passage of time, these people also, the perception may change. But what has happened is India has become a very interesting market for the Germans. And one very important point which we miss out sometimes is that it's not only export of machinery to India, it is also sourcing from India. Sourcing of material from India, sourcing of manpower now from India. Yesterday, our Honorable Ambassador also said that Germany is ready to absorb Indian skilled manpower. So this is a big change now in the perception of India.
But I believe these kind of hard words, for me, it gets shocking, but it is also a wake-up call for me to do better.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, certainly. I fully agree with you. As I said, the process of improvement, or even when we talk about ease of doing business, it's a continuous process that needs to be. With the evolving, we see now it's become so unpredictable. The geopolitical situation, the regulations have to change, adapting to the present geopolitical situation.
It was a lovely conversation I had with you, actually, a lot of insights.
My pleasure, Hari.
But before closing this, I would like to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
We are hearing about artificial intelligence.
Right.
Everyone now, ChatGPT have become our way of life.
Absolutely.
But what is the impact AI is making in the manufacturing?
So I think what is happening in the manufacturing is when we are looking at processes, we want more real-time data. If you look at the traditional manufacturing, what was happening, the supervisor used to go on the shop floor. 1 week old data, the old data from the week would be collected. And then say next Monday, he would review the data. But in case there was some issue on the machine or quality issues, so especially on the machine, since he's seeing the data only after 1 week, in the meantime, the machine could break down. There's a high possibility. But now what is happening is we are collecting real-time data. So the supervisor is also very well informed every minute or every hour what is happening on the machine. So for example, if the vibration increases or the temperature increases, you know that the machine is heading for some failure. So before the machine breaks down, you can take remedial action. You can change the bearings. If the vibration sensors have to be changed, those could be changed. So I think due to these impacts, and I am being very profound of the fact that this will actually help Indian companies, the Indian MSMEs, because the breakage of the machine, stoppage of production for them is very difficult. It will cost a lot of money. And these are very small actions through which the remedial action they can take. So actually when we talk about AI, the application of AI for our MSMEs is very huge. Only thing is, yes, there's always a thought about the cost coming into play, whether you have skilled manpower who can. So I think each company has to see its own journey. They have to track their own journey and see what are the basic steps. We call it baby steps they need to take. Start with something small, at least collect the data, get the data, and then you can always scale up to something bigger. So that is a very interesting phase we are in at the moment, Hari.
We have seen lots of news that, because of AI, a lot of jobs are getting cut down in the IT sector.
Right.
But at the same time, when we go to these manufacturing shop floors, many times we see that they tell that, they are not having enough manpower. So this is a very big contradiction what we see.
That's right.
So how you see this? You also spoke about the skilled manpower, right?
Right.
How this is, turning around, how this is evolving, the technology and skilled manpower.
Yeah. So this is a typical chicken and egg story, Hari. Actually, it will. Especially for India, where we have so many people and we have a very young population, we actually need to have a right balance. Not all functions need to be optimized in India, to be very honest with you. In Europe, you need it because the manpower cost is very high. In India, our manpower cost is still quite reasonable. So you need to have certain aspects or certain processes automated, which actually augment the human work. It's not becoming a replacement for human work, but it is augmenting the human work, where the whole process, the human productivity also increases because he's getting some support from the machine and it can help him. So that is the correct balance we need to adopt in India. And this will be a challenge for the companies going ahead. How much automation you do, how do you balance the other thing also? But it's going to be very interesting times. And I think, especially in India, we have that luxury of being able to balance this. In Europe, you don't have that luxury anymore because the manpower cost is so high. You need to go for automation. So these are, I think, very interesting times we will see in India, Hari.
So this EMO Hannover 2025 was very productive for us.
Right.
We've seen a lot of innovations and we always see you in India. You inspire us a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking your time here.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cold here, winter. But still in this winter, we are all, very charged up and involved with the work what is happening here. And I believe EMO Hannover also sends this message that India cannot be ignored. We are at the center of manufacturing. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for all the good work Machine Makers is doing, Hari. And it's lovely to see you always energized and always on the move. All the very best. Thank you. Thank you.